And I think part of it has to do with what she does for a living. You know what I mean? Like, no knock to any rapper, right? But like, I think that entertainers, especially like young entertainers, I don't think they necessarily appreciate, kind of what they're doing. They don't even realize what they're doing, and then they're just living fast. And it ain't like Lotto. Lotto don't make no conscious music or anything like that. She making club, ratchet joints, whatever. So like when you get older, right, those kind of scenes do get old to you. You know what I mean? And then I don't know what kind of relationship that she's in, but like when you're not finding true fulfillment, or you not find even what you're doing, like rapping, obviously rapping is not giving her enough fulfillment, that the money that she's earning, like the spoil, like, because that's a gift that's rare. It's not like artists these days ain't even making money for real, for real. Like there are some artists that figure out how to make a bag, but although we have streaming is actually, nowadays it's made it harder for people to make money. Record labels ain't signing people at the same rate, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So like I think she probably feels some type of void because of like what she does, the type of rap that the type of music that she makes, and the lifestyle that she lives. Yeah, I mean, it's all bling and clubs and twerking and stuff like that. And like, yeah, that shit would get old. You know what I mean? That stuff would get boring. But like, I don't think in this economy though, it ain't good to be talking about not being grateful. I wouldn't even say grateful, but not appreciating, or not, it feels like she's not appreciating the money that she has. Like, it's like, there's fans out there that are giving their last to go to your shows. That's giving, I won't say pay for music, but giving their last to buy your merch, and meet and greets, whatever it is. And then for you to complain about it a little bit, or for you to say, it just seems in this time, in this day and age, it seems a little bit out of touch. That's something that maybe you could write in a memoir, and you could reflect on. But like, to say that right now, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's, you know, but like, but yeah, if you had to grind for a long, long time, like, you think about, she was a child star, so to speak, and she was on that rap competition show, that Jermaine Dupri's competition show, and she was like 16 then. So like, although yeah, it probably felt like a grind, a grind, a grind. It didn't take her long. Like, it didn't take her long into adulthood, I would say, for her to actually make a lot of money. And so, yeah, there's probably not that love and appreciation. But she should just be careful, kind of sit back a little bit, and she needs to find. So she said, "Oh man, what am I gonna be doing? Chasing money? Like, that's when you supposed to use your money for the good things. You know what I mean? That's where you can, like I said, money itself is not gonna get you fulfillment and buy you happiness, but like it can be a tool for a lot of different things. So like, all right, well, she got to find a purpose outside of rap. So like, do something for a community that you're a part of. Do something for women. Do something for female rappers. Like, do something for just female creatives in general. Like, and she might be doing some stuff, but like, she obviously has to recalibrate a little bit and do some soul searching. But like, ain't nobody regular trying, ain't no regular citizen trying to hear no artist talking about, oh, it's just it don't mean nothing to have a lot of money. Like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. You know what I mean? But what do you think? What do you think? You think that's a common thing that artists feel? Do you think what she's saying makes her a little bit out of touch, to the reality of the situation, and is it bad timing? And what do you think she needs to do moving forward to kind of find that happiness? If you have any thoughts on this, leave a comment below. Leave a comment below. I appreciate it. But yeah. So moving on to headlines now. Moving on to regular headlines. And it kind of fits. It kind of fits. We're talking about working. We're talking about the economy. So Job Corps is closing its doors. There's a lot of articles about it. I actually have a extended relative that is in Job Corps now, to be an electrician. he's supposed to be done like in July, like he graduates. So I think his class is going to be the last graduating class. But for so what Job Corps is, it was a program created by the Department of Labor, and it's a way to get people who don't really come from money, that come, to get them to learn a trade, and they kind of live there. So it's kind of like a dormitory situation. They got to take classes, and then they learn their trade, and then hopefully they get jobs. But they are cutting the program, and there's a lot of people speculating that this is obviously, they feel that this comes from the administration, and like with the budget cuts, what they're citing is that Job Corps is closing because it's had financial issues for years. Like, this is a program, although it's a good program for some people, it's not making any money. It's not making any money. They're in a deficit currently. They're in a over two. It was, the number was high, but we're gonna just say over $200 million deficit. So they're in the red right as we speak right now. They have low graduation rates. So although it is a good program, there's a lot of people that don't finish the programs, and they don't end up graduating. They talked about issues with actual job placement, and like job placement is not as robust and as good as it is, or as it's advertised. And then there's actually some security and safety concerns at these different campuses. So like, I'm not gonna say anything, but I've heard like of people, people getting into conflicts with each other, and like, so people not feeling safe in on these campuses. Um, I mean, like I said, people are supposed to kind of treat it like college, but like, yeah, and even little cuz told me like, yeah, he's seen people like, he's had to set it on people. He's had to, he had to defend himself because, and I don't want to stereotype anybody that's in Job Corps, but in Job Corps, we're getting, these aren't kids, these aren't young people, because you don't even gotta be a kid necessarily. These is like young people. Um, a lot of these people come from disadvantaged uh neighborhoods and disadvantaged communities. So they don't have much, you know what I mean? So like, they some of these you know students, they might not have the proper decorum or conflict resolution that you would kind of expect from adults. They kind of finding their way on, as they go. And again, you get a bunch of people around each other, young people, high-headed people, and then things just happen. But it is unfortunate because it does seem to be a way to kind of save kids and young people and kind of put them in the right track. One, especially if you cannot afford to put yourself in the trade school, it's a good opportunity. But yeah, like, just like anything, money matters. Now, is it really in deficit? We could probably dig into them numbers, but like, they're saying that year over year, it's just been snowballing. There's actually, even in Pennsylvania, Penn State, everybody knows Penn State. So Penn State has satellite campuses all over the state. Like, almost every little town has some type of Penn State campus, right? Many small towns all across Pennsylvania. Well, all those satellite campuses, or a majority of those satellite campuses, are about to close as well. So like, some people, the conspiracy is that like, all right, so this is, what I mean, the government is shutting these entities down because they want people to join the military, or they want them to be, to find a life of crime, to find a life of crime, so that they can go to the prison, they go to prisons, and then like, the prison system is like just making these people richer. And they are discouraging, people from pursuing higher education and getting trades. So like, maybe they want them to work these manufacturing jobs that's supposed to be coming back to the country. I don't know. But people are speculating that it just don't seem right. Like I said, money, man. You're gonna see over the next year, you're gonna see a lot of public entities, a lot of programs that a lot of people enjoyed, or a lot of people like came up from. You're gonna see stuff disappear slowly. You know what I mean? Especially if we don't get things on the right track. And if our government continues to look at those things as waste as opposed to things that kind of help the economy, then we're yeah, this is the bed that we made. Yeah, I mean, and we're here. So, but what do you think? What do you think, man? Do you think it's wrong that Job Corps is closing down? Do you think there's a way to save it? Do you think that the government could do some things to kind of intervene to kind of help it from closing its doors for good? What do you think? What do you think? Leave a comment below. Leave a comment below. All right, moving on to the next thing. Moving on to the next thing. So here on this platform, we have been talking a lot about mental health. And I'm not a clinician of any sort. I don't claim to know anything. I don't claim to know more than what I've essentially been taught, so to speak. I don't claim to be an expert. I don't give mental health advice either. On here, I kind of react to some. There's some mental health professionals that I trust. Um, I know a lot of mental health professionals, you know what I mean, that are decorated, man. They got the credentials. And I think it's an important topic. It's an important thing because it's there is some downsides. I talk whenever I share these Raquel Hopkins videos, it's all to just raise awareness, and she does a good job of like doing what this article is about to say in terms of pointing out misinformation. So there's an article that came out, and I read this on san.com, which is Straight Arrow News. Um, and the article, I'm gonna read a little bit of this. To kind of start it, and then we'll kind of react to it. But it says TikToks. So straight from Straight Arrow News, it says TikTok's top mental health videos are riddled with misinformation. Riddled with misinformation. It says more than half of TikTok's trending advice videos contain false or harmful mental health claims, experts warn. A new investigation has found that the social media platform's most popular mental health advice videos may be doing more harm than good. So it says experts raise red flags on viral therapy hacks. An analysis done by The Guardian reviewed that 52 of the 100 most viewed TikTok videos featuring mental health advice included unhelpful or potentially dangerous claims about managing trauma, anxiety, and depression. So here's what they gotta say. It says a panel of psychologists, psychiatrists, and academic professionals reviewed the videos. The dubious advice includes eating an orange in the shower to reduce anxiety and consuming holy basil to heal trauma in an hour. That's kind of wild, right? Uh, Dr. Dan Poulter, a former UK health minister, and practicing NHS psychiatrists criticized many of the videos for blurring the line between normal emotions and clinical diagnoses. He told The Guardian some of the videos pathologize, pathologize. He told The Guardian some of the videos pathologize everyday experiences and emotions, suggesting that they equate to a diagnosis of serious mental illness. Amber Johnston, a psychologist accredited by the British Psychological Society, said the trauma related clips were especially concerning for their oversimplification. It says here each video is guilty of suggesting that everyone has the same experience of PTSD with similar symptoms that can easily be explained in a 30-second reel, Johnson said. So yeah, so it's not a long article, it's only a couple more paragraphs here. But the article also talks about how like TikTok is trying to do things to like get the misinformation off of the platform, but it's obviously missing the mark when it comes to this. So again, Raquel Hopkins, clinician that I mental health clinician that I've shared her videos on here. She talks about that a lot. Like she keeps it real in the sense of she's not giving necessarily advice, and she's not telling you to do like tangible things, but she's talking about even though this is her profession, but she talks a lot about the downfalls of mental health, and the downfalls of mental health awareness and also like therapy and what people are learning. And she talks about a lot of these misconceptions and